Hello, my lively lovelies. Welcome to Alive with Aaliyah. Today, as part of the continuing series I'm doing on adapting to chronic illness, we're talking about clothing, fashion, and how we can adapt our garments to suit us better for living with disability and chronic illness. So I must apologize. It's been a while since I've made a video. I've definitely been having a flare, but I was feeling a little better today, and this is one that, a topic I wanted to make sure I covered. And I especially noticed today, I went to town kind of dressed up, and it was a good confidence booster. And I do think that, feeling comfortable in what we're wearing can really be helpful. I realized that a lot of the clothes that I had previously wearing just weren't working out for me, that I wasn't comfortable in them. And some of the changes that I had to deal with and adapt to were using mobility aids and just feeling comfortable, right? Having my clothes feel good on me. So the first thing I really had to change was the color of the clothes I was wearing. I used to wear a lot of black and a lot of vivid colors. I loved cool tones, still do, right? So I wore a lot of black, a lot of dark blue, a lot of teal. And the reason why I had to stop wearing those colors is because I am heat intolerant. And those clothes, when the sunlight would hit, the dark colors just heat up, and I couldn't stand it. I couldn't tolerate it. And when I switched to wearing lighter colors, I was able to extend the amount of time I could be in the sun, which, maybe still not a lot. Got to wear a hat and all of that, but it's really helped. So that was a big shift for me because I've kind of identified with counterculture a lot, like gothic stuff, but also hippie and earthy and that sort of thing, like, vibrant tie-dyes. And so now I'm wearing, white and pastels all the time, and it's really worked out for my aesthetic here with all the antiques and everything. I've really embraced it and made it work for me, but it was an adjustment. But once I found something that worked, I took ownership of it and found a style that I could really get behind. Another thing, like I said, dressing for mobility devices. So I am what we these days call, an ambulatory wheelchair user. So I want to be able to look nice if I stand, and I want to be comfortable and look nice in my wheelchair. And one of the things I've done lately has been wearing a cover on my wheelchair, and a lot of chairs come in black and whatnot. So for me, that's also been a heat and comfort thing. Putting on a nice cotton off-white chair cover makes my seat cooler and more comfortable, and it also aesthetically, I feel, helps blend a little more. So I really like that, both aesthetically and comfort-wise. Really long maxi skirts, ankle length, floor length skirts, with big billowy skirts, dresses are really problematic for wheelchairs. Maybe you can find a way to make it work for your own wheelchair, but just be really careful with long and flowy in general, getting caught in your wheels. I also do not wear like long bell sleeves with my wheelchair because I don't want things to get caught. So that's really important safety tip is watch out for any clothes that you have being at risk for getting tangled in the mechanisms of your wheelchair. If you can come up with ways to avoid that, fantastic. It's going to vary based upon your wheelchair. So just something to keep in mind. Some of the things I try to do when I'm dressing now for sitting is thinking about the areas that really stand out and keep my decoration or frills there. The areas that are really showing up are my knees, down to my feet. So nice footwear and a beautiful trim along here goes a long ways. And then of course, you know, my waist is relatively lost, especially when I have a purse in my lap, which I often do. I often you know, have a nice little compact purse in my lap and then a crossbody strap to keep myself from losing it when I get up and down. So, you know, my waist is pretty much gone. So I focus on the shoulder area and having, you know, either a simple neckline with a pretty necklace or having a nice lace detail is a good way to play to the areas that are actually showing. This isn't enough, you know, wearing an elaborate waist, something like, you know, pretty belts and all of that. They do tend to get lost when you sit down. And I do also like, since my purse is often on display, I do try to have a nice pattern, but something that goes with everything. So this one's, you know, heavily embossed, tooled, and that's just kind of a theme throughout. And I really do rely on the crossbody style because I'm often getting up and out of the chair using my cane, and I don't have like a lot of free hands to be dealing with. But it is nice, I find, to have like a little handle. I do like that a lot so that I can have something to kind of grab onto and maneuver around. So that's convenient. And one thing I do love is to have the option of switching out my handles on the crossbody so that the buckle is in the front, because I'm very sensitive, and to have the metal against my skin in the back and pushing on the back of my chair, my skin is terribly uncomfortable. I hate that. So I have some examples here. Some of the dresses that I'm wearing. So like, let me talk a little bit about the materials I'm liking and the shape and the cut. So I already told you about like the color, but I really like to wear like a nice light cotton or something flowy that has good airflow. That helps me stay nice and light. And then I think it's really nice to have something that's rather billowy in the waist. Let's face it, my weight fluctuates, and the other thing is I have a lot of GI issues, so I do poof off and on, so I have no idea what my waist size is going to be at any given time. It fluctuates. So it's really nice to have some room for that. Let me actually show that to you down here. And I like that it has, you know, this little lace detail because that shows up in the front. But this is just really simple. But again, it also has a little bit of lace down here. Now this is shorter, right? So it's not going to cover my knee. So that kind of gets me going in another direction. So when I'm wearing a shorter dress, actually let me go put one on. I'll show you. All right, now we're talking a bit about shorter dresses. Now I do like to wear shorter dresses. They have some nice airflow, help to stay cool, especially when you're wearing compression stockings. And I've mentioned compression stockings before. They are not necessarily the most beautiful things in the world, but I have postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, and I'm a frequent fainter, and those help push the blood up into my brain where I like it. So, and they're very warm, which is why I'm wearing the skin colored ones, because those are the coolest I found. But I don't love for the stockings to show so much. And then the other thing is that they are expensive, and they are prone to getting like ripped and torn and snagged. So I do often wear socks, over the knee socks, with them, and I admit it's a little bit of a juvenile look for someone my age. I admit this, but it saves me money, so I don't go through the stockings as fast. They don't get as damaged, and also I find it helps protect my knees because I still do fall, and yeah. So when I'm standing, you can certainly see the gap, but when I'm sitting, it sort of goes up and over. Now, wearing short skirts or dresses, especially the wide, flowy ones like this, create problems when you're picking up speed or it's a windy day and your skirt floops up. So I do tend to wear some sort of shorts. People may wonder, why don't I just wear shorts and and like a t-shirt or something like that. And part of it's not being my style, and then part of it is again my waist fluctuates in size, and so I like having, I don't want like a tight waistband, and these ride really low, and it's very stretchy, so it's just more comfortable for me, and I like to feel feminine. So these are the kind of shorts I was talking about. They're just like little, they're super stretchy, and I like the little lacy ones. This is kind of a skirt, if you will. Now, I will say that this is not a fashionable thing, but I just wanted to point out, if you're someone like me who does like to attempt walking and maybe is not that good at it, they do have on the market knee pads that aren't so bad. They're not so bad. These are for dancers, and I sometimes wear them under my socks, or if I'm doing a lot of physical work, I just let them show, because like whatever. But then again, if I'm wearing something, a dress that goes down past the knee, it does tend to cover it quite a bit. So just putting that out there. I thought wearing knee pads was ridiculous and the end of the world, but I've saved myself a lot of pain by using them. So just an idea, just a thought. And then we were talking about socks. Sometimes it's really too hot to wear socks. Along with the stockings, that can be overkill. So I do have some that are like barely there, they're like fishnet style and kind of lacy. And of course, I love these textures like lace and fishnet. Enjoy that. And then I was just talking about knee pads. So sometimes I wear really thick socks, and especially nice in the fall. And let me pause this and put on the thick ones, because you can see how they kind of work as you don't need those knee pads, and it's kind of a cute look and super cozy. So these are the slouchy thick socks. I just love these for warm weather, for cold weather to get warm. I love them for that built-in knee protection. So I kind of scrunch them a little bit right here around the knee for a little bit of padding. So that's nice. And my temperature changes so much if I'm inside or outside. So if it's cold and I want to have some flexibility, like just a big old cozy cardigan that I can take on and off as I need. So I love that. This is what I like for a nice cozy outfit. But sometimes all these socks and everything don't work out so much, especially when it's like 1,000,000 degrees out like it is today. So let's try something for a little try to stay a little more cooled off. So this is something I like to wear when it's warm out. I like layering these very thin, lightweight slips from Free People. And as you can see, it's like a see-through lace. And then I wear like another lightweight slip underneath. And this way I don't have to wear shorts or anything because, you know, I have enough layers that I'm not going to be like flashing anyone. So this is kind of an example of the slip I have underneath. Just a nice little handkerchief hem, very simple. And then this is like, this is one of these Free People slip dresses, and it's super lightweight, it's super flowy, and I just love these. And what's great about these is, you know, it's so hard to actually go shopping and try things on. So once I figured out that I love these, I got them in a bunch of different colors. Got a lot of them like on eBay for a discount because it's not a cheap brand, and they're really great. So I do have on some shoes that I don't have socks because I'm trying to stay cooler, and I'm still wearing an enclosed shoe, but like just, you know, the little ballet style, because I feel like you don't want to necessarily wear like sandals with your compression stockings. It's not that I haven't done it before, but I just feel like this doesn't draw too much attention to the fact that you're wearing stockings with all that. Like, you don't see like I wear the toeless one, so it's like this is hiding it's hiding my little toes sticking out, and it's hiding these little foot irregularities. So, you know, and if you want to wear a sandal with these, that's fine too. Whatever makes you feel comfortable, right? That's what it's all about. You guys, I'm so tired from changing outfits so many times. Okay, so speaking of being tired, right? My favorite thing about most of these styles is because they're so comfy, they're lightweight, they're flowy. This is literally like two slips that I've decided are now a dress, right? So you can sleep in it, but don't sleep in your stockings. Don't sleep in your compression stockings. But if you want to sleep in your stuff, don't wear those underwires. Sometimes you might need an underwire if you're particularly needing the support. But they have a lot of stuff out there these days that is underwire free. So there's some really great bralettes out there these days, and underwire free bras. And I mean, they're so pretty, you know, they make them like out of lace and everything, and they're lightweight and comfortable. So, you know, wearing something like this, and you can just like, when you're exhausted at the end of the day, assuming you make it to the end of the day, am I right? And if you're like me, you just like don't really necessarily go to sleep, you just suddenly are passed out, then you're pretty good to go. You can sleep in this overnight and then start anew the next morning and save so much money on not needing to buy pajamas. All right, so let's go over a few things that I haven't touched upon. One of the things that helps me out is to avoid like buttons and snaps and all that stuff. Like, I have a little bit of trouble with my hands sometimes, so, you know, if you have arthritis or something like that, you can certainly relate to this, that it can be easier to avoid that kind of stuff, you relying on elastic and loose fits. I will say that sometimes I do struggle to pull things over my head. That can be a little difficult, and I've had my shoulder kind of pop on me. So if you have something like EDS, maybe you do want to avoid pulling things over your head, and I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with that if I keep having trouble with my shoulders over time. So that's something to watch out for. For shoes, side zip on your boots, it's going to save you from lacing. That's a great tip. A lot of us have trouble being sensitive around the joints and things like this, so that's one of the reasons why I don't really wear pants. I also wouldn't want to wear pants on top of my compression stockings. That's a lot going on. But I actually have a lot of trouble with sleeves in general. They bother me around the shoulder and in the elbow, so stretch knits are good for that. I actually even know of some people who cut the material around the joints to make that easier. And that's actually a really cute look to kind of, like with the worn knee. So it's nice when you get to have the aesthetics application as well as something practical. Well, thank you so much for joining me today on Alive with Aaliyah to talk about adapting to chronic illness and disability in terms of fashion, clothing, and whatnot. And I love clothes. I don't know, I have a background sewing and making my own clothes, which I haven't really done in a while, but I didn't want this to be another thing that I lost, and it's not. I found a new way to look at it. I let go of a lot of my own old design aesthetic and style and focused in on the stuff that works for me now. I did some troubleshooting, found out what was comfortable for me, and then over time found ways to combine the comfort with new ways of looking at style elements that I like. So I'm able to have things like, lace and frills and feminine flow, and those were things I always loved. And it's just a new way of looking at it now. And it definitely looks really different, dressing in like white and pastels all the time gives me kind of more of a romantic, flowy, almost like shabby chic kind of look. And I'm running with it. I'm embracing it. I'm loving it. It's influencing the rest of my style, like how I decorate my house. And it's just all coming together, and I'm really happy with it. So if you are finding that your clothes aren't feeling good, that you're uncomfortable and you're discouraged that your old clothes are not working for you with chronic illness, and you don't want to lose your sense of fashion or identity, find it anew. Keep on searching, keep on trying. And when it comes to the expense of it all, because that's where it really hurts, do it slowly. Try a new piece here, try a new piece there, get used things. I know getting to the store is hard, so ordering online from places with a good return policy so you can try on at home. Once you find a brand that works for you, then you can have a little more freedom. And once you get used to different sizing. So there's a lot of ways to approach it, but what's most important is to be patient with yourself, and to love yourself and try to have fun with it. Clothes are fun, you know what I mean, right? All right, so hopefully I'll make another video sometime soon, and live in love with life as huge motorcycles go by. Sorry for the noise.